Can you feel me shake the ground? 'Cause I've heard enough excuses. Let's find out what the truth is. I'll get on my feet, I'll take to the streets. I'm knocking at your door.
Tina Pete, he's gone. He is in Ontario. Good to be electrified now. So he's gone. Yeah, we finished that off. We did that little reveal video for you guys as well. We'll miss him. On to the next.
Rumors spreading round. United Texas town. About to shack outside the game. You know what I'm talking about. Just let me know if you wanna go to that whole mile on the range. They got a lot of nice skills.
Yeah, so Kinser, last episode, we ended at her being just about to get painted.
Yeah.
So Sean painted Kinser 2-ish weeks ago, a week and a half ago. And then this last week and a half has been pretty much just Sean assembling and matte polishing. And then once it's fully polished and assembled, we're kind of doing it backwards this time. Usually we do all the mechanical before it's body worked and painted, but this time we're gonna switch it up. So then it's gonna go to the mechanical and finish up that job. So that's pretty much it for Kinser. Lots of polishing and lots of assembling.
Rumors spreading round. United Texas town. About to shack outside the game. You know what I'm talking about. Just let me know if you wanna go to that whole mile on the range. They got a lot of nice skills.
Okay, Deb, so last week you were on the Beamer.
Yes.
Now you're on the Kinser.
Yes.
What are you doing to the Kinser?
So the Kinser, we're at the stage where body's painted, we're mating the chassis and frame up and putting wheels and tires together, and we kind of noticed too much gap between the wheel and the fenders and wheels and the quarter panels. We did originally build this for a body lift. So there's these 2-inch spacers here,
Yeah.
which we put in between the body. Generally on a Coyote build, we have to do a body lift so the engine and transfer case have lots of room to the floor.
Yeah.
In this instance, the Kinser chassis, everything's already pre-engineered. But I think you guys got some footage of a couple weeks ago, Sean actually lowered the floor 2 inches.
Yeah.
So the driver and passenger can have more headroom.
Yeah, yeah.
So now we're kind of facing the consequences of that. Because we lowered the floor and with the body lift, it was just too tall and we have to modify it and change it. So what I did is I'm taking the middle cross member,
Yep.
and that's attached to the part of the floor we lowered, and I'm lowering the cross member to be at the height that we want with our floor. And then I'm also just cutting a section of the cross member under here,
Yep.
so we have maximum room for our transfer case, because everything's pretty big under here.
Is it hitting that?
Yeah, it's just so
middle part?
close. We want to lower the body, but the transfer case would have been hitting the floor. So I'm gonna make a little notch up here so that we still have the strength of the cross member.
Yep.
But it's just bringing that edge up so we have maximum clearance. And now with the lowered cross member, and I'm also gonna modify the bushings just so they're a little thinner. That way we can eliminate the body lift, bring this back down, and try to get that gap between the fender and tire a little smaller. It just kind of looked too big for how the wheel and tire package that we have.
Did you guys drive it already?
No, this one, no. This one hasn't been driven. We're still, in this instance, we have to pre-paint and assemble everything, make sure it's good, and then when the mechanics get it, they'll final wire it and everything. It's what's nice about the Kinser chassis. They basically send you this thing ready to run. Everything's installed, exhaust. So all we have to do is hook up some wires and do some test driving. In this instance, we're just making sure all the dimensions, the body's sitting perfectly. That way we don't have any issues, and it'll look good too. We want the thing to look appealing because
well, the color is definitely.
Yeah, and this chassis wasn't designed for a body lift, so we wanted to bring it back to how the chassis was with some little modifications. We'll get to where we want it.
So you added that, eh?
This, I actually lowered this.
Oh, you lowered it.
I lowered this 1.5 inches.
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna take a 1/2 inch out of the bushing. That way, that the height of our floor, because we lowered the floor, that way our floor is correct. And then the body bushings that were here,
yeah,
the spacers, we can then remove the spacers and bring the body 2 inches lower. And then everything should fit copacetic and look good. And we just move on to the next step where mechanics get it. They can start tuning it, driving it, putting test miles on it.
Make it run.
Make it run. Then we'll go to final assembly, polish, paint, and then it'll be customers. He's getting really excited, so we can't wait to give it back.
Rumors spreading round. And I have to take the time. About to check outside the game. You know what I'm talking about. Just let me know if you wanna go to that whole mile on the range. They got a lot of nice girls.
The orange Mustang is leaving next week, first thing, so that's all buttoned up and done. And then we have our personal spec Bronco.
Yeah.
So I think we're just doing some test driving on that one this week.
Okay, eyes.
No problem.
Will I clear there?
Fresh.
Doing great. Ranger.
Okay, Alex, so what happened here?
All right.
And you know why is it at the body shop now? It's finally here.
So
It's out
it
of the
looks a little
mechanical.
bit different from the last time you guys saw it. It looks a little bit more like a Bronco. Body guys put on the fenders, they put the windshield on, put the hood, and kind of did all the body panels so that we can go now test drive it, make sure nothing's going to overheat, and because it's in its final stages now. Last time we were checking it out, the engine bay was kind of a mess. So everything's been wrapped up and loomed and tucked away. So it's still not fully done yet. I got a handful of stuff I have to figure out, but for the most part, it's driving really good. We got a stage 3 shift kit in it for the transmission, so it does shift really hard. It's kind of just what they do. It's meant for race applications, so likely that we're going to change that a little bit or get the drivability a little bit better, because when you're in a lifted Bronco and it shifts like that, it kind of wakes you up.
Feel it?
Yeah, you feel it. But the engine we put in, the 347, it's running phenomenal. It sounds good. It pulls really nice for a Bronco, and it makes really good power. So I got no complaints in that department.
Sounds amazing.
Yeah, you know, if you look around the engine bay, there's some stuff that will get buttoned up. So,
Tucked
you know, don't
away.
be too picky about it. We need some grommets and fill all those in there. But I would say it's about 95% done. We're at the home stretch. I don't know if the last time you guys saw it, if the dash was put in, but now we've got all that finalized.
No,
The
I
black
think,
on black looks really good.
yeah, I think the last time was you were fixing the wiring.
That's right. Yeah, we're having a little bit of issues there. So that's all been taken care of. I really like how the black on black's looking. I think that's the first time we've done it. First time I've seen it anyway, and you know, I'm a big fan. It ties everything together really nicely. You got the chrome on all the bezels and chrome on the wheels still. So we'll get this thing kind of driving, and we'll do a couple runs back and forth so you can see how it goes. And once we're done that, I got a few more days with it to get it where it needs to go, and then we'll ship it out to the new shop. So it's gonna live there for a while. It's not getting bodyworked or painted for a while. I'm not sure if I'm supposed to spill the beans, so maybe cut this out. But
Yeah, we'll
this
cut
one's
that
not
out.
getting the wide body now. I think plans could change, but
Oh, it's not getting the wide.
no. So based off timelines, holy, you got a swarm around you.
Why me, man? You see that?
They like the Filipino blood. Yeah, but just based off timeline, Infamous needs a little bit more time to print, so that's not going to be ready till towards the end of the year. So we're just going to get this to the shop and have it sit there. Most likely it's not going to get the wide body anymore, so not a huge deal. We'll just put it on the next one.
Rumors spreading round in that Texas town about the shack outside the game. And you know what I'm talking about. Just let me know if you wanna go to that hole now.
Perfect. Yeah, let's get in here before it starts freaking
Let's do
pouring
it.
on us.
Let's go for a rip.
Get in.
Bring this with us,
Get in.
just in case. All right. All right, now the brakes work, but everything else is questionable.
That's a nice little hole.
Oh, belt's got to be adjusted.
This is, yeah, it's automatic.
That's new.
What is it?
Well, before the horn was working. That's not working. I'm wondering if it got disconnected while they were doing body parts. They might have taken it off. So. Hold on, Carl.
I am holding on. And I got shades on this time.
Good. We're a little bit better. We're more prepared this time.
God damn.
Get right? This is the best part of a build. You get to the end of it and there's that reward.
Yeah.
You know, it's a lot of hard work. Everybody busts their ass to get it to this point, and we're still not even close to being done. But
You get to enjoy it a little bit.
you get to have some fun. We're gonna keep an eye on all our gauges. That's the most important thing. We got oil pressure, we got temp going. Ready? Instead of putting the brake warning light there, we decided to put a little USB
That's
port.
nice, yeah.
It comes with a voltmeter, so you
Just
can
even these.
Let's go pull this in. Canadian crate engine 347. It comes ready to go, ready to drop in.
Sounds mean.
Yeah. Pretty sweet. It's driving great. It's still shifting super hard, but other than that, that's right. You can tell Derek's the boss because the first thing he does is... Temperature's reading good. All this stuff is good. Vitals. Everything's running as it should, as of now.
Oh,
All right, let's get it in.
it's raining.
Flush it. Love it. Oh, barely.
Just barely.
Missed the brunt of it.
It's my favorite stalker.
All right, James. So what have you done here?
Absolutely nothing, but really good at it. We made some progress on this. We got most of the wiring finalized. There's a couple sensors that still have to be finished. We just had to get the fuel line in so we can run the fuel pressure line, or fuel pressure sensor. And then we can tie everything together, loom it, and finalize it. This fuel system is in. Still got to finish assembling everything, but we got to modify the plate here to get the fuel pump in here, and then we got to supply and return. The system's already vented, so we're going to cap that off. And then we have our fuel pressure regulator slash fuel filter. So supply in, return back to the tank, and then supply to the engine with check valves in here. So we're going to have one of these on either side of the vehicle. So you can
Oh, you already
switch.
have that hooked up there. That's fast.
No messing around, man. I want to drive this thing again. But yeah,
Race to it. Just a race to it. And this is hooked on? It's mounted on there?
these aren't fully mounted yet. I just they're on there. The screws are in. They're just not torqued yet.
Oh, okay.
I'm just making sure everything's perfect, and then I'll do one final everything. But just right now, it's just layout and making sure everything that we do put on is gonna work, and then we'll go from there. We use NICOP because mostly because of how it looks and how easy it is to use. It bends nice, but still holds good pressure, and it looks freaking amazing. Mm-hmm. Got a couple more lines to make yet. Just got to put a bulkhead in here and a plate to mount it to, so we can go from flex to hard, the hard line. Yeah, it's fun stuff.
Rumors spreading round United Texas town about the shack outside the game. If you know what I'm talking about, just let me know if you're gonna go to that home out on the range. They got a lot of nice girls.
What's wrong?
Come to this side. This is what happens.
Do you have a flashlight?
Bad things happened. Yeah. Well, it's horrible what happened, but it's I still can't stop laughing. What? He dropped the nut for the drain pan into the funnel, and he couldn't get it out, so he couldn't stop it from coming out.
Got stuck in the neck of this, which then blocked the funnel.
Yeah.
Which then made the funnel overflow. And then I couldn't get it in time for this to not overflow.
And so,
Sometimes
let me move this for you.
It's like a murder scene. Oh my!
Let me give you an example of what's happened.
Sometimes it just be like that, you know? Sometimes.
Looks like blood.
Sometimes maybe good, sometimes maybe shit.
Sometimes maybe good, sometimes maybe shit.
This time it was shit.
When it's ATF, it's always shit.
Oh, it's always shit.
It's horrible shit. I know it's horrible.
That was. Well, thank you guys. The plug, because I mean, like, that's happened to everybody, you know, where you drop the drain plug in the funnel and you just reach it.
By everybody, you mean you.
Okay.
Okay.
Cool. Eleanor, the Eleanor Bronco, we're diving into the mechanical right now. So
Wiring.
yeah, not a lot of changes that you can visually see, you know, in the body and everything. So they're just working away at the mechanical. And then I actually already started the interior on it. So we're kind of halfway on that. So that one there'll be more to see in the next couple episodes coming up, but we'll definitely show you a lot of the mechanical work that we've been doing on that one.
All right, Mike.
Why don't you just follow these lines along? First they go from the inside.
You gotta get the mic in there, Mike.
Is there, Mike? Come on. So, here we are. You can take a look right up underneath there.
Grab that.
So those lines start right there. Then you go through the firewall over here. You can see that.
Grab your mic there.
Yeah, grab the mic. Over to here. Come out. Do some bulkhead fittings. Over to here. Just follow those along. So those are our AC lines and our heater hose line. And so yeah, there's a little bit of plumbing involved there for sure to get that stuff all in there. We got most of this wiring all cleaned up. Look at that. It's looking good already. Then we had to sort out all the radiator hoses, which none of this comes pre-packaged. You got to make everything, right? So Alex has been working diligently trying to get some heater hoses. And Alex, what did you find over there? Yeah, we're talking rat hoses, dude.
So we kind of just had to make the best of what we had. So this one here, we ended up cutting it in half and then pivoting this elbow here so it was in the correct position for us. I was at Lordco yesterday. They let me go in the back and take a look at everything they had to find something that would work. So we basically had the closest possible outcome what we had in stock. It didn't quite fit what we needed, so then I took this with me and we basically just found a hose that would be correct. So it's not perfect, but it was
I don't know if I can get in there.
Yeah.
That's a little tight. There's not much to see anyway. Just this hose right down there.
But still, it's a lot of work to get all that sorted out and get it into place, right? Like you probably spent a couple hours just running around.
Yeah.
You can see the clearances we got to deal with for the radiator fans. Really tight.
Yeah.
We're going to have like about 1/8 of an inch. That's it. Between the radiator and the fan. And the engine.
That's right.
So, yeah, it's been brutal.
Perfect. So a quick summary of what you have done.
Okay, so brake system is done, ready to be bled. I just went through the suspension this morning, got everything torqued properly, so we're comfortable there.
What'd you find with that, Alex? You find everything was loose?
We found that every single nut and bolt was loose or over torqued.
Or improperly installed.
Yeah, so no
Figure that
NCs, no anything. So obviously you don't want to assume anything when it comes to suspension.
Yep.
So we just ran through everything. You can see all the paint marks. That just tells us that it's been torqued, it's proper, we can trust it. So I'm just gonna have to shove some grease into those ball joints. And
So basically they just handed it to you guys, hand tightened.
Yeah.
And it's up for you guys to figure out which ones need to be torqued.
Yeah, so because we don't know, we
Yeah.
gotta go through everything.
Yeah,
You can't leave
exactly.
anything up to chance, especially when it's safety components, suspension, brakes, anything like that. So we're gonna make sure this is safe to go on the road, and we're not gonna assume anything's done.
Yeah.
And we'll just do what we do and get it on the road.
So, Alex, what'd you find with the master cylinder when we were doing that?
Oh, so this was a little interesting. Come with me, everybody. Up against the booster, it was almost as if someone maybe pressed on the master and bent it a little bit.
Yeah.
So that when you would put the master up against this surface here, there was a big air gap that you could see, and it wouldn't actually mate flush.
When it was open?
Yeah, so you'd bolt it up and you'd see a big gap on the top or the bottom.
Yep.
What we did to resolve it as best as we could, you could see in between there now, there's a little gasket. So we just cut that to size. That'll crush a little bit and kind of conform to this surface instead of the flat on the concave surface of the booster. It shouldn't cause any problems. It's basically just to keep the dust and debris out of it. There's no fluids in there, so did what we could there.
So then we were working on some of the wiring, and Alex also had to extend some of the wiring because it was too short for some of the applications that we were doing.
Yeah, so
the windshield washer fluid was a good example. It was about 6-8 inches too short to go into the reservoir, so Alex had to extend that as well.
yeah, and then we kind of did the opposite for the light harness on both sides here. I've got it all re-loomed and labeled. These are just way too long. This is a little unnecessary, so I cut about a foot or two off of each section. Re-loomed everything, put the horn wiring in, put a couple grounds in place, so that should be good to go there. The rear lights as well, I did that last week. I don't know if you got footage of that, but
You laying down.
yep, me laying down.
Doing the
sitting on my ass.
wirings too, right?
Yeah, so that's all said and done. Now Mike's got a bit of a rat's nest to take care of under the dash.
Yeah,
but
you got to see this. Come on down.
oh, man.
Rat's nest.
So over here, we have the main harness that comes under the dash. So a lot of this has been cut into and cut apart.
This is all you, Abe.
Yeah, and I got to clean all this up. So we're going with Dakota Digital dash cluster. Got to tap into these wires, but most of the wires have been tapped into previously.
Yep.
Because there was another set of gauges that was put in here that was taken out. So it's all tapped into the wires. It's going to be hard to work around, but we'll have to clean it all up and get it up and running. So Alex also installed the steering column today, which was a big deal. Now I can start doing all the wiring, the Dakota Digital, I know where I can put it. And now I can start to run my wires to the Dakota Digital. As you can see, all the wires that we got to run there, there's a lot of wires. Each one of these terminals has to have a wire. So we got to get into the harness and find those wires. Yeah. So it's going to take some time, probably a couple days for sure to get that.
It's going to be an eyesore to look at for you.
Yeah, then we'll clean it all up under the dash so it looks clean. Hopefully we can try out the systems and make sure everything works. But as of right now, nothing is working. So we got to sort that all out.
BMW, Devin's just been kind of doing his thing, working with the metal, fitting the interior.
He talked about it. I did a walk around with him.
Well, then Devin will tell you all about it.
All right.
Perfect, Dev. So I've just been stalking you all day.
Yeah.
What did you just put in? What did you do? And how did it turn out?
So today, I just went through our lowering shocks into this thing, lowering front struts and rear springs and shocks. They are BC Racing coilovers and a lowering kit designed for this M1 chassis. So as you can see, the kit is installed now. So far the rear, we only ended up lowering it 1 inch with the coils, but what's nice about this kit is they're all adjustable. I can turn my spring adjusters, lower or raise the car. So I'll try to make them match. And we're doing this to lower the car for appearance wise, but also we will eventually I'll make a flare just to kind of change it from the stock wheel opening shape, something that more conforms to the tire. Looks original, but will help flare to protect the body from the tires sticking out. So only probably stretch the wheel lips maybe out maybe 1.5 inches, and if I lowered another inch, should sit perfect. But right now it's looking pretty good.
Yeah.
The front is definitely a lot lower. And we are going to move the wheel openings. Yeah, the front was lowered 2 inches, but this is the difference now. Our M chassis is a little longer than the original wheelbase of the CS car. So I will cut this wheel opening, we'll move it forward, redesign a new flare, and kind of when we do all the flares, make them look great. Make sure you can actually turn, because right now I can't stick my finger in here.
Do that again? Oh, yeah, no.
But right now, we were just lowering it to get the stance before we make the flares. So far it looks really great. Kit went in awesome. I mean, I got most of it done in less than an afternoon.
Yeah.
You can see all the original parts there. But
yeah, I'll pan that here.
So far the kit is awesome. And just one step closer to getting more of the car done. Working piece by piece now, and yeah, just continue on, keep momentum going. We want this car to get a lot of progress while I can work on it. And so far, lowering it's always a good job. So
yeah.
I love lowering the cars, but definitely have to fix these wheel lips. But
yeah.
So far, the stance is cool.
It looks great.
Looks great, nice and low, and especially with the new gas fill location, he'll be able to get right in there. No problems, no fucking around. I got the seat and interior mocked up.
Yeah.
We will be cutting the seats down as they are obviously too tall to fit the rear window.
Yeah.
But we will trim everything down so it looks great, looks appropriate, but everything will still function in the car as if it was normal.
And you finally trimmed this?
We haven't trimmed the dash down
yet.
yet. No, so far I've just stuck the doors on. We will trim the dash once I figure out how much the interior panel sticks out. One thing at a time. Next step is getting all the door hardware so I can take the latches and strikers from the new car,
yep,
adapt them to the old. That way everything looks cool, smooth. It's all BMW. Make it look great.
Perfect.
Cheers, thanks, man.
Eric's gonna be stoked tomorrow when he sees this.
Rumors spreading round in that Texas town about the shack outside the game. And you know what I'm talking about. Just let me know if you wanna go to that whole mile on the range. They got a lot of nice girls.
Our blue favorite 55 Chevy truck. I know you guys have seen that one at World of Wheels. So, you know, when you see the truck kind of all final and done, doesn't mean it's necessarily done. You know, that was the show, and then we got it fully 3M and protected, and now we're doing all our test miles because that one is going to be a driver. It's driving amazingly, but there's definitely a little bit of kinks.
See what I mean?
Yeah.
That is completely normal when building a full restoration from ground up. So we've just been doing a lot of test driving and then just kind of working away at all those little things on that one, and then that one should be good to go next week.
Lastly is Tonka truck.
The Tonka truck, yeah. So the Tonka truck, we're Thursday today. Tonka truck is getting revealed to the customer tomorrow. So he is all done. We also did a little reveal video about that. Maybe it'll be in this video. I don't know. We'll see. So yeah, that one was a super fun one. Super excited to reveal that one to Eddie tomorrow. I think he'll be really happy with it. So yeah, that one was just getting the last finishing touches of it being polished all week. And then Sean was installing the interior. And then we got the tailgate pinstriped as well, and with Wimbledon white on the Ford lettering. Yeah. So just kind of little final details on that one. And that one's good to go. Out the door, on to the next.
Perfect.
I think that's it.
What's going on, guys? Derek and Renee at Legacy Speed and Body here. Another introduction for you guys this week. We're introducing Half Baked, a 1969 Ford Bronco, finished in this beautiful lime gold color. So back in the 60s, when Ford introduced the Bronco, they introduced three body types. The U13, which was a roadster, which didn't have doors, didn't have a topper, kind of a cool kind of beach vibe.
Yeah.
The U15, which was a wagon, those are the ones you see most frequently on the road. They have the full hardtop. And then this one, U14, which is called the half cab. Renee and I have a soft spot for these. We both, we're both pickup truck fans.
It was our first one also.
Yeah, one of the first ones that we built.
Cab.
And then I'd say probably out of over 100 Broncos now that we've built with the shells and everything, probably only a handful of them been half cabs. So not a lot of people go for half cabs.
They're little Tonka trucks.
Yeah, exactly. So when Eddie came to us with this one, we were just super stoked. We built this shell almost 2 years ago for Eddie. He was one of our first clients for the shells. He took it back, did a bunch of mechanical work, did his chassis, suspension, brakes, all that kind of stuff. And then he reached out to us about 6-8 months ago and asked if we'd finish it up, do his body and paint. So then it came to us about 6 months ago now. And what'd we do from there, Renee?
Wow, you just told me you know all the mechanical stuff. So first we just did a few little mechanical things. So we bled the brakes. We kind of just made sure everything was kind of working nice and smooth there. We fixed his original steering wheel, steering column, I would say, more so. And then we did full body and paint, of course. And then we added one of our legacy fully customizable interiors as well, half cab style.
Why don't we start with that? I think both of us just love this interior.
It's green on green on green.
We've done a few with houndstooth now, and I just find the green with the houndstooth, with the pinch of green in the houndstooth as well.
Yeah, this is actually a Porsche houndstooth.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so
sweet,
really fancy, and it just works perfectly, I find.
So being the half cab, you don't have the whole back seat, so a little bit simpler of an interior. So what we did was sun visors, 2 bucket seats. We did the floor mats to match, as we always do. The door panels, new dash. We added some black accents to the dash, which I think complement the green really well.
Yeah, the bulkhead, like the visor bulkhead's actually black, and then with the green visors, and then same thing with the doors, right? The handles kind of come black.
Toffee console as well. Yeah, and then Eddie, the client's actually taking this to the finish line, so he's doing his own stereo system, which is not uncommon. A lot of the times guys will be like, take it to a certain stage that they feel comfortable with finishing it.
There's a few little mechanical things.
Yeah, a few mechanical things to finish up, audio system, things like that, but it's really close. It's running, driving, Body's looking absolutely fantastic.
Yeah.
So I don't think it's going to take Eddie too long to get this one running on the road.
No, we did all new glass, all new door mechanisms. We took his original smoker windows, but we repainted them and cleaned them all up so they look brand new. Yeah, LED tail lights, all new lights and housings.
So engine bay wise, like we said, Eddie did all his own mechanical on it. When we had this shell, we actually applied the Raptor bed liner that we do on probably 90% of our builds. And then we carried that Raptor finish to the floor and to the box as well. He wanted the underside done as well, which we don't do very often.
I like
but
it,
yeah.
honestly. I'm
when
looking
you
at
step
it right
back,
now.
yeah, you look back, it ties in that engine bay really nice.
It actually ties in the interior too with the black accents and stuff.
So it's a 302. I'd have to ask Eddie if it's the original engine. I'm not too sure about that, but he definitely rebuilt it. It's got plenty of jam for a little half cab like this. Yeah, it's gonna.
They're so fun. I miss my half cab now.
And like I was saying,
Build another one.
color-wise, Ivy Gold. I'm not sure if you'll capture it in the camera, but outside in the sun, it's got a ton of gold metallic in it.
Oh, yeah.
So this thing just pops like crazy.
We did a Mustang, a 67 Mustang last year in this color.
Mhm.
And then when we were showing him color samples, he just gravitated to this one.
Fell in love with it.
And then I was like,
well,
well, let me show you some leathers and greens. And we just kind of went all green.
Sometimes
I
clients
like it.
take months, right, to kind of pinpoint the color. This case, he looked at it right away. He knew. So
He
it
knew
was
exactly
awesome.
what he wanted. It was
so
awesome. Yeah.
I think he's gonna absolutely be blown away when he sees it.
Just glow, especially like.
Oh yeah.
Sun hits.
Exactly.
I'm loving it with these.
Exactly.
It's like the highlighter in the making.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
The cheekbones,
Yeah,
Carl, very good.
The cool thing about these half cabs is, even though there's not a lot of room, you still have a little box, right? So you
Mhm.
can head to the hardware store, throw whatever you want in here, throw your hockey bag, throw your golf bag, whatever you're doing that day, and still utilize that box.
Tonight, the topper and the grill like we usually do. And then
Yeah.
we're actually getting the tailgate, the Ford pinstripe later on today. So
Yeah.
we'll cue in an extra little video
Yeah,
after
that'll
that.
finish. That'll really tie in that Wimbledon white on the topper. Other than that, honestly, it was a pretty simple build. We redid all the chrome for them, bumpers, badges, door
Yeah,
handles, mirrors.
Yeah.
Anything like that that was chrome.
Pretty much all brand new
was
body.
new. Yep.
Right.
On the suspension side, I believe this is a stock ride height, right?
It is.
It's pretty low. So
Yeah.
stock ride height, which again, we don't do very often. So it's cool to kind of see one sitting where it is. No body lift either. No body lift either. So it's nice and
Small
low.
and mighty.
Yeah, exactly. That's my motto. I think honestly that pretty much covers it. Like I said, pretty simple build, but we really loved it. I think when clients see this color, they're going to gravitate toward it, and we might get a few requests going
It's a
forward.
fun
with
color,
that.
too.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
is. We threw
Light and
some old wheels and tires that we had kicking around our shop here, and the client liked these so much that he decided to purchase these and keep them as a separate set, even though he has another set back home. So that worked out really good. Again, the Wimbledon white ties in perfect with the topper. Dual exhaust on it. Thing sounds awesome, runs awesome.
Is the dash also Wimbledon white?
Yeah, dash is Wimbledon white as well. We did add the gauge cluster as well.
Yeah, we did a whole new Dakota
Dakota Digital.
digital.
Yeah, so this is kind of cool because that cluster looks really stock looking and it looks like it belongs, but it's all modern technology, so the needles won't bounce up on you and stuff like that.
Actually, I think it's Classic Instruments.
Classic Instruments?
We might have to.
Okay. Yeah.
It's
So
a Classic Instruments one, yeah.
I think that pretty much covers this one.
Yeah,
What do you
that's good.
figure?
You
we
just get
forget
some
anything?
good ass shots of that houndstooth because it's a beauty.
Yep.
Yeah.
Awesome, cool. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. We have a few more coming up. We got a 69 Mustang that came in for repairs that we're going to do a quick little video for you guys on. We also have the 55 Chevy pickup that we have to do a full walk around on that as well.
Derek, this is just an episode about the half cab.
All right, sorry.
We'll leave
wrap
this
it
shit
up.
for you for
Next time.
for our other episodes.
Sounds good. Hope you guys enjoyed.
Rumors spreading round in that Texas town about to check outside the game. You know what I'm talking about. Just let me know if you're gonna go to that home out on the range. They got a lot of nice girls.